Sarah, what have you done?
Kerrigan, the die is cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget Minsk, Sarah. Forget all of it.
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long ago.
Consider it done. For hire. Indeed.
No, go away. Yes. Stupid mobile ads. Hi everyone! I am Hyper Turtle, Commissioner of the FSL. Welcome. We have a night of games getting ready to go. I'm going to be working on my own tonight because we don't have everyone available. Alright, we are live. Good. So, I appreciate everyone coming to keep me company. Right now I got Sarah Kerrigan already here for me. I never gave up on you, Sarah. Don't you give up on us. So let me see what we have today. We have our schedule. Hurtin' Time versus Criminal. Frieden versus Hruz. Vale and Hurtin' Time against KJ Freedom and Little Reaper. And we actually have a replay of a match with me against the young StarCraft expert Stu Blue. So there's going to be a lot going on. And I think these should be pretty competitive. We're actually waiting for a couple players right now. So we're going to start actually with a replay of me taking on Stu Blue. Now, if you're anything like me, you don't enjoy looking at your replays, especially not while everyone else is looking at them too. So you're going to have to bear with me. This is the FSL, the fun StarCraft League. So we're definitely learning how to play, but you know, we're doing our best just to have some casual fun while we're doing it too. Let me change a couple settings here, and we will get started. All right. In the upper left, we have the Red Zerg. I am... here. I'm not actually on this button here. One moment. I am
Hyper Turtle.
And in the lower right, the purple Protoss. His name is
Stu Blue.
So, Stu Blue and I met up last season. Stu Blue was previously Code B. Last season he graduated to Code A, and he surprised a lot of players, me included, with how far he'd come over the course of a season. Particularly, he got really good at some really aggressive pushes that hit at pretty good times and managed to catch some much more experienced and much older players just a little bit off guard. He did manage to beat me last season, so we will sit here and we will see together how he does this time. Alright, well, anyway, we got a pretty standard opening on my side and Stu Blue's side. Gateway, Cyber. Over for me, we got the hatch before pool. Got that about halfway done, so standard stuff. Stu Blue, kind of taking his time. He's a bit late on scouting. I like to go with a pretty random assortment of skins. I don't like it when they all match up. Stu Blue, I believe, has the forged skins. So, interesting thing here, though. Most players against Zerg like to wall off the natural. Stu Blue is walling off the main right at the top. So it takes less build-ins to do. You see, he's got that Zealot out right away in case of Zerglings. But usually a lower wall is favored. Now, with that Zealot on hold position, it completes the wall. Any workers that are queued on to harvesting minerals can go right through. Oh, and yeah, we got Zerglings on the way. Not really earlier than usual, but as you see, I'm taking a bit of an aggressive stance here after seeing that there is no wall on the natural. Also, a Baneling nest on the way for me, too. And Stu Blue, he's got a proxy pylon, so he's getting ready for some aggression, too. Let's see, I have a total of 10 Zerglings on the way, grouping them together before attacking. And, yeah, the... I went to take my third and found Stu Blue making a couple of shield batteries at the proxy. Speed upgrade is finished. Stu Blue is doing all you can do in this situation when you get caught, and that's Chuck a little bit. Still some probes rallied. He's got a Zealot, couple of Adepts, but those can get outnumbered, at least with speed. And as you see, a little bit of attention of mine kind of off the macro of the game. Oh, here we go. He's trying to defend. Some of the Lings are going on a surround to the Zealot. They pay for it because, well, Adepts are pretty good against Zerglings. However, Banelings can do some serious damage to any light units. As you see, his defense is successful, but we have more Speedlings on the way. Up top, 2-gate. No tech path chosen yet. Looks like he's getting ready to try to get some more workers replaced. I'm holding off my third. Most people would have had the third by the 3-minute mark at the latest, but as you see, I'm kind of smelling blood in the water a little bit. We have a Stargate and a Citadel. Not a Citadel, a Twilight Council. As always, I can't help but regress to my Brood War days here and there. And, you know, one thing of mine, I never actually did take care of that pylon. I just kept rallying. And here come the Waddly Boys, as we call them. A lot of damage there. They don't do as much to the Stalkers, but boy, can they take out workers and light units quickly. And everything goes down. They also do bonus to buildings, so the Nexus goes down too. Plenty of Zerglings left over to clean up these pylons. Stu Blue still does have some supply to spare, but he doesn't have a lot of army. Only 11 supply in army. Zerglings come along, surround the Adepts, Adepts don't do as well for themselves against Zerglings if they get this around. These two Stalkers are in pretty secure places. You see back, got some speedlings that managed to take out that pylon. I'm still not expanding or attacking. I am trying to see what I can do here. And you see Stu Blue, he's kind of leaving the door open a little bit. Sends the Oracle. The Oracle can make quick work of tiny units like this. However, speedlings can get away from it pretty quickly, and the Oracle continues to expend energy the longer it's done. And you see the Zerglings just come right through here. Some of the Banelings, looks like that other Baneling isn't going to make it either, but yeah, we're seeing a lot of supply plummeting here. Stu Blue at half the supply I'm at. Should I be talking about myself in the third person? GG. And, Hyper Turtle wins, which would be me.
Hyper Turtle.
And actually, I meant to go for the GG. So yeah, a game of aggression where we just had a case of one player beating the other to the aggression. And now we are going to game 2. That one was on Babylon. Next one is on Ancient Cistern. In the upper right, the Red Zerg, his name is...
Hyper Turtle.
And his opponent. In the lower left, down one match, the purple Protoss is...
Stu Blue 88.
Stu Blue 88. Alright. Starting off, going through the standard motions. Once again, Stu Blue putting his pylon up on high ground, not at the natural entrance. Overlord is on its way to take a look around. There's watching paint dry, and then there's watching Overlord's move. You decide which one's more exciting. Stu Blue is scouting this time. You know, he was caught off guard before. And as you see, scouting before expanding as well. I'm going to try the talking about myself in the third person thing, but I just know if I refer to myself as Hyper Turtle as if that isn't me, I'm going to be criticizing myself a lot more. Actually, I will say that I'm doing a bit better this time around. Yeah, there's something worth criticizing. Usually it's not worth it to pull workers to chase away another worker. However, Stu Blue is actually just letting this probe sit. He hasn't queued up a bunch of movements or anything. And, yeah, good old Hyper Turtle. In for the workers round. Citizens Arrest, as we call it. Okay, we got the Cyber Core and a second gateway on its way. Hyper Turtle taking the natural at the usual time. And the spawning pool just finished. Once again, kind of starting with the Zealots, but Stu Blue has gotten himself supply blocks, so little unfortunate there. Alright, there we go. Wasn't supply blocked for long, and we have a very early Twilight Council. However, he's putting that right under the Overlord, so I see that. And as I recall, immediately my alarm bells went off. I'm expecting early aggression, or possibly early tech, like Dark Templar. However, yeah, you can see he's making more Zealots instead. So this is something that I actually saw a handful of our Code A players make use of last season, which was just the full-on Zealot rush. And you can see he's started working on the charge. Meanwhile, I've got Zerglin speed up. I get the Baneling nest up as well. kept the Overlord away, but as you can see, I'm kind of going in for another peek. So, if he's going to be rushing, I'm going to want to know what he's going to be rushing with. Overlord, floating away as fast as its many, many legs can carry it. But still there to peek around. On my side, I'm not taking my third. I'm actually getting ready for some major aggression. Maybe overreacting more than a little, especially since I'm able to look at what's going on there. But I put on a couple spine crawlers for a full wall, just in case he already had a proxy out. And not doing that well keeping my workers going. Stu Blue is actually 6 workers ahead, which is not what you want with Zerg. Another thing that I'm not noticing is that Stu Blue actually did expand. I didn't think he was going to, but as you see, the Overlord is on its way. Meanwhile, back at my base, Banelands. Lots of Banelands, about 6 of them so far, with more in the process of morphing. And yeah, at this point I see that he has expanded, so he's at least spent money on that Nexus, not on workers. Overlord's gonna go down, but that was a pretty important thing I managed to find out there. Got my extra queens, mine a little bit of extra gas, and here we go, here we go. We have 9 zealots, 2 stalkers, not all of them together, and we have me moving out as I saw that they were starting to move before that Overlord died. Another one might be going down. See, I've opened up the wall a little bit. Kind of reminds me of Warcraft 3, when you can move some of their buildings along the ground, or even more efficiently with Terran in any of the StarCraft games. The Zealots decide to go for the retreat. Kinda indecisive on my side on how far to chase them. But at this point, this is good, because a lot was invested in those, and they managed to kill a couple of Overlords, and, you know, attack units. Stu Blue now on the defensive, putting up a shield battery. And I'm kind of testing the waters and crawling some Banelands forward. It's kind of interesting. I know last game I didn't go to lair attack either. Alright, there go the Zealots. Zerlin's getting in the way a little bit. A lot of Zealots go down, though. Stalker is not quite as vulnerable to Banelands. So I'm back to my macro, moving up to lair, saturating my bases, taking a third. Stu Blue is kind of in the spot I was at before. He is fortifying his defenses, getting ready for if I try the same sort of thing I did last game, like sneaking a bunch of lings in. But the Waddle Boys, the Banelands without the speed upgrade, are making their way back home. And, yeah, I guess that drone was probably going to make a hatchery at some point before I ended up making it in a different spot. I hope I'm my harshest critic. Oh, hi, Griempire. Should be an interesting show here. I am reliving my memories. Stu Blue and I actually played this game yesterday, early evening. So Stu Blue is sending out an observer, seeing what's going on. And he is going with the robotics bay while I am getting the spire going. Observer slowly making his way across. Now, one thing Stu Blue has not done is he hasn't really gotten his economy going. He's making a couple probes right now, but yeah, it's a mistake I've actually been seeing quite a bit in Code A and Code B, not getting the chronos out. It can be kind of an easy thing to forget about. But he could be getting a lot more workers and a lot more army units out a lot faster. Hydroden goes down from me. Stu Blue opts for Colossus Tech, complete with the weird extra range that everyone's been debating about lately. but he is doing the normal range research right now. So both of us are really leaving each other alone for the most part, kind of checking each other out. Stu Blue starts to take his third, I start to take my fourth. Oh boy, and I'm only at 50 workers. I mean, quite a bit more than Stu Blue, but not what I've been trying to practice towards. Alright, so I do know about that third now, thanks to my Changeling and Zealot disguise. Lurker Den goes down, researching some of my Hydralisk upgrades, and got a nice Ling Bane group ready to take this. Stu Blue does not come out to defend that. Lings are back again, and another thing that I was able to find out was I think almost his entire army is in his natural right now, so just made a handful of mutas. He does have some stalkers here, but not quite in position. Zealots and Colossus come up to join, but this can be a very annoying thing. He does have Blink, so that's something, but mutas that are able to just switch, skip over the ledges, go from the high ground to the low ground over and over again. I don't know, 64 workers, still not very impressive economy for me. Stu Blue, meanwhile, has decided to go on the offensive, rather than just waiting for the Mutalisk to come around again. And I have a few lurkers. I know that he is chasing me over here. Okay, lurker burrows. So this is interesting because our armies are almost even. Although with my economy and the extra hatcheries I've got, I can likely replace a lot faster than he does, and I do not think he has a warp prison here either. Alright, so one of the lurkers goes down. And yeah, we got a lot of carnage. That Colossus is frying a lot of Zerglings. Same time, though, yeah, inching lurkers forward. Got queens, unfortunately, that can no longer heal off creep. And the Colossus goes down too, so yeah, the supplies are not very even anymore. Whether it's army supply or workers. Little observer in siege mode in my base, not really doing much about that. And the muta's in for more harassment. In general, if I had a much better economy, I probably could have overrun him quite a while ago. But, yeah. Doubts. I'd say I definitely do have the problem of sometimes getting intimidated and putting maybe a little too much into defense when it's doesn't defend against. Good blinking from Stu Blue, chasing down the Mutalisks, and yeah, the mutas don't actually keep running either, but alright. Had some guys checking for an expansion during that attack. They did not find one. And yeah, you look right now though. Stu Blue, you know, I mean the mains are starting to run into minerals. But Stu Blue only has his natural right now. Yeah, first person cast, and frankly it's pretty awkward. It's like, it's like a book report in front of the whole class. Alright, Frieden will be available, so I think the next match we're going to be doing is Frieden versus Criminal, which will be live, and will not involve me talking about myself. Stu Blue, and this is the aggression I was talking about. This is how he got a lot of people last season, and that was just getting a really big really big stalker zealot balls going. You see, he's even wise enough to keep the stalkers in front to deal with the banelings, since they don't take any bonus damage against them. Keeps his zealots back. That's really well done. Was not F2ing. Take notes. And yeah, I've still got a bigger army, but this is still a very straightforward and rather scary death ball. He's at 1-1 upgrades with another attack upgrade about to complete. I have one melee upgrade, 2 range upgrade, and 1 flyer attack upgrade. Alright, he is moving in, and catches me out of position. Particularly, the lurkers are, we're not guarding the right spots. Supplies going down on both of us. Some of the Vipers end up just getting picked off as they got rallied to the wrong spot. Charging up. I do not have the upgrade for fast burrowing yet, so he is taking advantage of that fully and wreaking some havoc. Oh boy. Yeah, those were some corruptors that were flying over stalkers. Not much they could do about that. And no greater spire for me yet either. That didn't actually start researching. He is, yeah, doing some good damage. Viper goes down despite being charged up. And one of the things, though, is, I mean, he's gradually getting backed up more and more by the lurkers. He's doing a lot of damage to buildings, but not finishing a lot of them off. Granted, he did just get the lurker down, but it's a weird one, because he did a lot of damage, but he traded an entire army for it. No Immortal Archon. Yeah, Immortals and Archons are pretty nice against Zerg in these situations. Yes, everything is bad against lurkers, even flying units, let me tell you. They can be very annoying. Here's that one hero stalker, went after a couple workers, then went on its way, so one of those things where he was able to really go on the offensive there, but the supply, I believe the term is look at this supply. He is well less than half all around, and all he really has to fall back on is just sending the new guys he's created over, which are a lot less intimidating than last time. Meanwhile, I am just sending some cheap Zerglings around to quickly see if they can take out an expansion or something. No expansion has been created. Yeah, 100 supply advantage, usually considered to be a benefit. And yeah, it's only right that I should be punished by having to kill time here, because I did not counterattack very quickly. I mean, honestly, these Zerglings, yeah, they're in a position to do quite a bit with his army out and about. Got the Zealots, got the Stalkers. Once again, nowhere near where my lurkers are. Broodlord's on the way, though. Here come the Stalkers again. Yes, indeed. Alright, doing the math here, I've got over 5 times his supply. So hopefully I will be finishing up soon. Yeah, we have the GG. Alright. So, we got here. We are getting our next match rolling here. And let me see. Let me see if they're on video. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We have
Hello.
Harus and we have Frieden. Harus, thank you for staying up so late. Harus is, am I saying that right? Or is it Harouse? How do you say your game name?
Haruz.
Harus, okay. So yeah, you
Yes.
are playing all the way from Africa, right?
Yeah, from North Africa.
Yeah. So, you know, we'd normally do a bit more of an interview, but it's late. And let me see if we've got our map picks all set now. Okay. So Heroes, is your turn to veto a map.
I vetoed Babylon.
Yeah, you get to veto 2 in a row because you didn't get to go first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I'm gonna. This is 2-1.
I vetoed altitude.
Okay. Alright. Then we get to choose one. War Bunnies is very safe. He is in his element. Really disastrous plumbing work. Apparently there were pipes that burst in some of the some of the living areas that he takes care of. War Bunnies, by the way, when he's not playing StarCraft, he's playing real-life Super Mario Brothers. Because plumbing is the game. Alright, and Frieden, it's your turn to veto the last one and then choose the first one.
You got it.
A lot of this stuff will be a lot more ironed out soon, too.
Okay. I went ahead and
Alright.
selected.
Okay, I
and then you get to
think I'll
choose.
go Royal Blood.
You get to choose the second map. All right. So what we have here: Dragon Scales will be our first map. Royal Blood will be second, and then Neo Humanity, the weird map, will be our decider
Yeah.
if we go to a game 3. So I'm gonna need both of you to get in game so that I can invite you to party.
Okay. Should we use cameras or? Not
You know,
necessarily.
how about we just get started? Because, like I said, I know you've got a lot of stuff going on in a completely different continent than us. So we'll
Okay.
we'll smooth that stuff out ahead of time next time.
Okay.
All right. So
Yeah, just want to apologize. I wasn't aware we were the first
no,
game
that's
today. So
that's
on
all
me,
right.
but
It's
thanks for
tricky
your
over
patience.
Discord.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as you're here, it's fine.
Party, and then Frieden, did you just join?
I've been online for a bit, so just send me the
Here.
invite.
Can you go /join space FSL? Because I'm not seeing you in that chat. We are in the, yeah, here we go. All right. Well, we're getting this up. Any words to your opponents?
Good luck, have fun, dude.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Good luck as
We
well.
have a newcomer versus one of our veterans. So, custom game. And we are doing Dragon Scales. Alright, I'm going to be removing both of you from the chat. I'm going to be doing...
Alright.
Well, Eastern US is probably the closest I can get. Hopefully the lag isn't too bad. Alright, thank you for joining us, and let's see how this goes.
Should we mute ourselves or?
I'm moving you to different lobbies.
Alright.
I'm going to talk to you again after the match.
Okay.
All right. So. All set here. Oh, Yeah, here. Good catch. Alright. We have Rus. As Protoss, Frieden is playing random. We are good to go with our first live match of the night. Rus's brother is also playing. He's going to be doing Code S. This game is Code S Plus, so we had to divide up the Code S groups just a little bit, just because we had so many players involved in it. This is Season 7, and we are ready for our Code S Plus match. In the bottom right, we have our purple random player who rolled Terra in this match. His name is...
Frieden.
And in the upper left, our newcomer from Africa, he is the green Protoss. His name is...
Harus.
Alright, it is on. Harus putting the pylon at the natural. Frieden putting up his supply depot. And then, as soon as the barracks goes, moving the SCV out to scout. Harus, his probe definitely has the lead on that. We have a gateway in the natural, so nice and standard. Probe going around being generally annoying, as probes are oft to be. SCV chasing it off, having to sacrifice some little bit of mining for it. And now both players have gotten a peek at each other's bases, seeing nothing out of the ordinary. Although since Harus left, Frieden has added a second refinery, so that usually indicates a little bit earlier tech. You're watching and joined in this. Yeah, so the players' cams we were having just a little bit of issues with, so we will have that figured out by next time. Going off the natural. Factory on the way, tech lab on the way, cyber core just about to complete. We will see what Harus's tech path is. Now, interesting here, yeah, Frieden has not taken his expansion just yet, whereas Harus's is halfway done. Got a probe, just really dancing around there. Alright. Factory takes the tech lab. Stargate on the way, classic 111. Oh man, Harus really likes very tiny patrol paths. Mike sounds like I'm on the beach. Okay, that probably means I should turn my fan down just slightly. Empire, how does that sound now? I have a nice standing fan in the room now, and I love it. So far, neither of them making their moves. Liberator and more siege tanks on Frieden's side. Blink tech on Harus's. And yeah, a couple of stalkers getting driven away immediately by the siege tank. And there's that proxy pylon I was expecting. So I'm expecting a lot of blink stalkers to make their moves soon. Frieden now taking his natural expansion. And we have 3 more gateways on the way. Proxy pylon still going undetected, although he's likely to suspect something with these stalkers coming from that direction. There's the recall. Still allowing the proxy gateway to go up. I'm here for War Bunnies and his cutting-edge commentary. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. War Bunnies is the heir to my tortoise, and honestly, he's a lot better at the analytical side than me. I'm a bit more fanboy. Okay, there we go. Liberator attacking the workers and drawing fire away. We have a couple of tanks sieging right now. Bruce is being hit from both sides. Oh boy. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my gameplay there. This could be pretty bad for Bruce. Let's see. He's got 2 stalkers to deal with all of this now. He can work more in, but... yeah. Not looking good. Liberator protecting the siege tanks and the zealots. This might get worse before it gets better. If it gets better. Over here. And in the end... he lost some of his attack units. The proxy he invested in didn't end up coming to play, really. And now, I mean, this isn't a lot of units, but it's units that can cause a lot of trouble. We also have the mule there to repair the Liberator and the tank. I don't know. Right now... oof. Yeah, right now we've just got tech being replaced, and that's one of the things. Gateway and Protoss forgot to zag. Gotta zigzag those tanks. Okay, good advice. But right now, all that Rus can do is try to rebuild some of that tech, and yeah, Zealots probably aren't going to be able to do much here. Oh, unfortunately, the Liberator not being repaired by that mule. Oh. Okay, completely missed that this was happening, but we do have a counterattack. A lot of Zealots being warped in here. That's probably one of the better things he can do, although... I think it would be pretty difficult for them to make it into the main. Also, yeah... yeah, this is full sieging. We have the Artosis pylon right there, about to go down, and after that, I mean, there's going to be the Zealots, and that's it. Frieden does not lift off the command center, but still kind of limited in what he can do. Zealots sitting here. I think this would be a great time for a /dance for them, but that's just my opinion. Alright. That is GG. Okay, we are ready for our next match, which is going to be on Royal Blood. Frieden's adding in the GG after the match. Good sportsmanship. We're all about that here. Alright. As I've learned to do, moving the players into the player spots. I remembered. The stream pod will... Alright. Looks like everyone's ready to go. We're going to start out with match 2. We have launched a Patreon, indeed we have. Please do check this out if you like that, and if you're interested in participating in these matches in the future too. Our Patreon has been very helpful as far as the prize pool, as far as organization. Alright, GLGL in the upper right, up 1 game. we have the purple Zerg. Random, his name is...
Freedom.
And his opponent in the lower left. This time in the red, the Protoss player, his name is...
Arus.
Alright. Early probe going out here. But looks like mostly for scouting purposes. We've got a gateway on the way. We will see how Frieden's Zerg is. He certainly did pretty well as Terran there. Think he might have been considering blocking that hatchery, but it goes down just the same. Another thing with the Patreon, a hello and a hi in return. Like I said, really polite guys. The Patreon, among the benefits, there's prize drawings, there's special communication, you get to be involved in some additional Discord chats, but another thing that we've been doing is we've been sharing the replays on that exclusive Discord channel. So if you think you can cast my replay against Stu Blue better than I can, which I'm betting you can, Patreon's the place to go. The lowest tier is just $3. Alright, we have a drone chasing a probe quite a ways. Finally decides to go back home. Cyber core almost complete. We are going to see what tech paths and what strategies these two are going to be going for. Observer also anxious to see, I see. The Overlord. Alright, looks like we're going Roaches versus Stargates. So it's going to depend what kind of Stargate units he's making, but some of those can be very good against Roaches. Ready to defend. Got an Adept completing the wall, as you'd expect. Now, I will say, Frieden isn't focusing that much on economy early on as some Zerg do. It's also the Roach Warren before a third, and a lair. I think he's got something in mind here. I think he's got a plan. So I'm very curious whether he's going to be going for Roach speed, going for Nidus, going for what. These Adepts come in, go after a drone, and shade in for more of them. One of those Adepts is very hurt. Yep, he's going to be going down. I'm not sure if the other's going to be shading out or not. And we also have an Oracle that might be joining the party soon. Oh, he shades, but he shades right next to the Queen. Bummer. Yeah, so the Oracle, I guess he's waiting for at least one more, so that he can not have to worry about the Queens just as much, quite as much. Alright, we are going with Roach speed. So, and the third base is going down for both players at about the same time. Kind of unusual for ZVP. I'd really like to know what Frieden's up to. Right now, he's actually a little bit down in supply. And, yeah, I mean, only 2 Roaches have actually been made so far, so at some point, he's going to be trying to take full advantage of this tech he has. Speaking of tech, Twilight Council also down, and we are about to see a lot of dead drones. The Queens were out of position there. Gotta keep focusing down the drones. Good, good, good. This is not a happy day for the drones among us. Pour one out for them, people. Pour one out. Oh man, and both oracles, including the very hurt one, look like they're getting away. I don't know if this one's going to be continuing its move. The other one's hiding in the corner. Alright, one of the oracles does go down. That's a bit of a pity, as it could have escaped there. But I gotta say, Harush, and I've pronounced that a different way every single time, despite me asking him how to pronounce it. I think Harush, but yeah, almost double the workers on that side. And honestly, his army seems to have a bit of a supply advantage too. Ooh, and we have what we like to call a gateway explosion here. He is getting ready. I think the choice of army is mostly going to be Blink Stalkers, which don't do too badly. Oh man, oh boy. No drone kills, but with the worker deficit for Frieden, having those things frozen in place for a while is going to be very painful. Basically just looking around. Yep, completes the scout by tagging the roaches. Yeah, I don't know. There isn't really an army on Frieden's side right now. We got a couple of roaches and a couple of lings, and then other than that, just the queens, whereas we got 15, 16 stalkers all moving towards him. I don't think he's got what needs to defend this. Greenpire, shield your eyes. This might not be pretty. Alright. Does really well. Blinks the ones that took the hits back. Moves forward. Oh boy, we have a GG right now. We have ourselves a game, people. Bruce and Frieden will be going to game 3. And game 3 will be Neo-Humanity. And this is going to be really interesting, especially against a random player, since this is, you know, the weird map of the season. What with, you know, easily mineable gold mineral walls, destructible rocks around slow zones, around collapsible towers. Alright. Okay. Both players ready, both players enthusiastic, both players out for blood. Winner of this map wins the match. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens here. Those last two both had very, very decisive pushes, where there was an army that the opponent just wasn't ready for, although Harush definitely set Frieden up a lot more on that one with the worker harass. In the lower right, tying this game up, we have our purple Protoss, and he is called.
Harush.
And in the upper right, we have random Protoss completing the random selection trifecta. He is
Frieden.
If you're a random player, there's nothing like having a best of 3 where you end up with a different race every time. Now, Frieden, going with that main wall-off rather than the natural. Sometimes that can actually be pretty preferable if it's PvP, which he knows it is, thanks to this, oh boy. Harush really likes to be annoying with those probes. I mean, not super annoying, like blocking buildings or anything, but He just loves zapping things. Alright. Alright. Empire, my friend from Minnesota Barcraft, and my usual coach. Oh, whoa. I didn't actually catch what he canceled there, but. He is setting up. Low grip, natural wall versus main wall. But yes, just a little bit later in the season, you will be seeing Empire teaming with my co-caster, War Bunnies. And I know from playing 3v3s teaming up with them, they're gonna have a lot to offer. Alright. Now we have Frieden's Probe on the attack. This is interesting, though. Neither of them have their naturals down. Just yet, anyway. I think they're both being very wary of what their opponent might be sending at them. Oh. Poor probing patrol. I mean, poor patrolling probe. PPP. Okay. Ooh, and on Frieden's side, he is working his way up to DT technology as early as possible. Now, unless these stalkers manage to get up there, I don't know if he's going to see that. I'm sure he knows it's a possibility in PvP, though. Frieden's got the shield battery up. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the thing here. Dark Templar Shrine is... Or the Dark Shrine is, yeah, maybe about 3/4 complete. Still, if he manages to stall long enough, these stalkers are not going to have an answer, and, yeah, neither of them have a robo or a forge, so... It's one of those situations where Dark Templar could potentially just end the game. Goes, proxy gateway, a lot like in Game 1. And there we go. When behind, go what? Oh man, I didn't know I was on camera. Okay, well. Now there's also the question of whether they'll be able to do enough damage before the Dark Templar do enough damage to them. Ooh, and it's not a defensive DT either. It is way over here. Alright, there's some defensive ones coming down. Now he could... Oh, just thinking he could take that pylon out, but this is where there might be a little bit of panic. Evacuating the base right away. Bunch of the probes going down on the way out. Now, he might want to go out and maybe even make some additional structures, but I do not think he is going to be able to get a robo or a forge down right now, so this might just be slow, invisible death. Unlike Terran, Protoss cannot lift the buildings off, and once all the buildings go down, game ends. He's going for it though. Yep. So that's gonna end all production on Frieden's side, but he's got enough to very, very slowly win the game, and unlike Harush, he's mining still too. So yeah, at this point, Harush has what? Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does not have enough to put down a hidden pylon somewhere and put structural detection there. So this is one of those things that that StarCraft players have nightmares about. You know, the just kind of being chased around by an invisible adversary and just slowly going down. I think the last of the Stalkers are going to fall, and that is probably... Yep. We have GG. Frieden has won the series. so like I was telling anyone, oh, here. Okay, like I was telling everyone, next time we'll have time to.
Hey, we hear you.
Yep. In the future, we'll give you enough time to get your webcam set up. For now, everyone's just looking at me.
I could get my webcam up if that helps.
You know, whatever you prefer. But yeah, let's. Right. We had a nice series there. Each match very aggressive.
Yeah. I just like playing aggressive. You know, I'm a big fan of hero, so. Yeah,
Protoss has those options definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, that last game just didn't have a forge up, didn't have a robo up. Yeah, and
because it was weird that he had no units at all.
Yeah,
so
well,
it was obviously DTs.
And then the units he had, you couldn't see. It's just the way life works, I guess. But yeah, definitely welcome to the FSL. Frieden, yeah, one of those rare games where you ended up playing one map as each race. How comfortable were you in that? Are you used to jumping around that much?
To be honest, I barely understand this season's maps. So yeah, I just recently came back to playing StarCraft 2 regularly. So yeah, it was like it's been really uphill for me the past couple weeks. I think I lost I want to say almost 1,000 MMR or something like that. It's been pretty bad. So I'm like trying to learn the maps. So this last one was it Neo Humanity, the one with there's a gold line right that separates your natural and another base.
Yeah, potentially, or you might want to leave it up. It's all just making. There's whether you want to knock those collapsible towers down. It's all really interesting.
I don't really understand the rhythm of some of these maps. So I played I feel like a couple dozen maps or dozen matches recently, and I basically just looked at my stats and downvoted the ones that I did the worst on. So in terms of overall understanding of the current meta or vibe.
Yeah. I did notice that you did not veto Neo Humanity though.
I will definitely veto it next time.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the map.
Fair enough. Well, you won it though. Yeah, it's interesting because at the beginning of this year almost, right before IEM Katowice, the World Championships, was when they made the map and balance changes. So just bear in mind that you're not the first person to say that you have no idea what these maps are. Harush, how you feeling? Harush, right?
Yeah, it's fine, I guess. I lost fair and square, you know.
Yeah.
Except for DTs. DTs are not fair and square.
They never are, and but I can say that I saw a DT shrine making on your side of the map too. So, live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go DTs at all, actually, because I thought I won. You know, I didn't expect DTs at all, and because he was random, I thought that his Protoss would be bad. No offense, but that's what I thought, because I saw his turns that they were decent, so I thought this is his main race, so the others must be bad. When I saw Protoss, I felt happy, to be honest.
All right.
But DTs did it again.
Well, we'll be seeing you, before too much longer. We're going to be moving along. We're still waiting on one of our players, but I do have another replay that I want to share with everyone. So, thank you both for coming on. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of this from the season. I love Protoss shenanigans.
I just want to say to Haruz, you are probably one of the most aggressive players that I've come across in recent times. Usually I'm known in FSL for being unusually aggressive, kind of all-in sort of plays. But dude, twice you came with me with 2 stalkers and I was not ready at all. I didn't expect you to come at me that early. Very few players do, so I want to commend that. You're super aggressive, dude.
All right.
Yeah, as I told you before, I just like playing like Hero. I just watch Hero all the time, and I want to be like Hero exactly. And Hero is very aggressive player, and
you gotta be to be the one Protoss whoever wins, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. We will see you both soon. GG all around, and we will be moving on.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for organizing, Hyper Turtle.
Thank you. See you.
Alright, so as far as I can tell, Criminal is still not on. we will be taking just a couple minutes, and then I will be moving on to the next replay, which will be Little Dom versus Valhurt, I believe. Alright, for real this time.
Sarah, what have you done?
Kerrigan, the die you cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget Minsk. Forget all of it.
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long ago.
Consider it done. For hire. Indeed.
Wait, Season 5? Okay, we gotta update that just a tiny bit. Alright, we are back. Here, come here. Joining me is full-time Zerglin, part-time Pat Curley. He will be co-casting or just scratching at the door until I let him out of the room. So what we have right now is we have the team of Vales and Hurtentime that we refer to as Valhurt up against Little Reaper and KJ Freedom, the team of Little Dom. And actually, here, a couple things I'm going to queue up here. Appreciate everyone who's bearing with me because, yeah, I'm new at this. Fails. Little Reaper. And her time. And I do not see anything for the banners, so I will figure that one out next time too. Alrighty. But you will notice some improvement from last time. I do at least have my separate OBS scenes set up now, but enough about me. Let's talk about some very skilled players doing 2v2. In the upper right, the Red Terran, he is and his teammate, the Purple Terran, he is called
Hurtentime.
Together, they are Valhurt. And their opponents. At the bottom middle, we have the Yellow Zerg, He is.
KJ Freedom.
And his teammate, the light blue Protoss, he is.
Little Reaper.
Together, they are Little Dom. So this is quite the map here. Very big, lots of gold bases, as we can see. Freedom has already taken one, and I have the feeling that Hurt in Time has the same kind of idea in mind, although one closer to the base. There's a lot of scouting involved with this map, potentially. There aren't Zalnaga watchtowers here, but boy, gold, 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 gold. A pirate's dream, man. Alright. So we have so far, aside from the gold rush here, pretty standard. Cybercore, barracks, we've got a Reaper getting ready to scout. Overlords looking around. Now, you have kind of this ramp into the main. You have a natural here, or the pocket natural over here, which is a lot more defensible. You also have these destructible rocks that can go into the natural. And there goes the Reaper. Let's see what he finds there. You notice that good old KJ has added another hatchery where it would be expected. Probably doing what he can to keep people from looking. Oh, man. You know, another fun thing about team matches, you can share control. And then after a handful of minutes into the game, you can share resources. So sometimes if one guy invests heavily into just making a bunch of extra expansions, especially gold bases, it can be next level strategy. Alright, Zerglians managed to chase an SCV all across the map. Grenade hits one of them. They do not have anywhere to go. I think that Reaper is going to be fishing them off with a little help from his pal, the Marauder. Now we got Fails getting the Stargate up. Meanwhile, Hurt in Time, kinda not really teching yet. Making an extra barracks. Lot of extra command centers. Oh, and here there's the Reaper, who now knows all about this gold base. And we have another one coming in, but that Queen's gonna drive him off. Spine Crawler going down just to make absolutely sure, and I think we are gonna be investing pretty heavily into Marauders. Stim getting started. And Hurt in Time is starting to tech up. Got the factory going. Little Reaper out in the robotics bay. Or robotics facility, I mean. Classic Terran versus Zerg pressure. Reapers and Hellion. And yep, Overlord over here. They are keeping a very... They know to keep an eye out on the gold bases. Alright. Speedlings clean up everything. And looks like Little Reaper might be getting ready for some aggression, possibly a drop. DT Shrine almost completed, so I would say a drop is a very good bet. And, a lot of Lings going at the same time. These should be enough to surround and take out most of Hurt in Time's units. He's putting down some defenses there, but with a big map like this, and look at that proxy pylon. Big map like this, there is no shortage of locations that you can hit from. Fortunately, they do have the extra orbitals, so they can do something against this, but I think this orbital is going to have to lift off. Maybe even some of the others too. Here. No Dark Templar left. But, Yeah, Ling's managed to do some good work. And I think someone just noticed this. In a replay, you can see where the pings went. Got a Zerglin, making sure that that orbital doesn't land. Getting some attack upgrades. Zerg also getting armor. Yeah, this is where an eco build can sometimes backfire a little bit, but they're moving up. We got got some zealots just warping in, causing trouble. Dark Templar as well, and this can really keep guys occupied. Trying to take down the missile turret, and those SCVs are doing whatever they can about that. Oh, but man, yeah, look at, they've got to cancel this this orbital upgrade if they want to lift it off. So Little Dom, they are being beyond obnoxious. They are wreaking havoc every possible spot they can reach. That's going to make it really hard to keep the economy going, which is a mess because, you know, Hurtin' Time was banking on an economic opening. See, one of these orbitals has never even gotten the chance to fly out to another location. And, yeah, along with Proxy Pylon did get taken down, by the way, but yeah, Freedom is opening up another possible path in, although there aren't any bases in the natural anyway. Got quite a bit of mines lying around. Here, do we have another one yet? Yeah, we have one battlecruiser with another coming up. And those can be pretty handy on a map this size, also with this many ledges. They can just ignore all the distance and just be where they want to be. Looks like they are aware of them, if they weren't already. I'm pretty sure they saw the tech. But yeah, we have two Stargates building battle cruisers at once. Yamato research has started, lurker attack on the way in the opposition, as well as carriers. So we are going to be getting into some pretty high-tech fighting pretty soon. Lurkers are very nice against just about anything on the ground, but they don't actually hit air, so battlecruisers could do well against them. They might be able to stand up pretty well against all the infantry and mines, though. Got a Raven there for detection. Not a bad idea, since on top of the lurkers, we also have the ever-present threat of Dark Templar. KJ is just everywhere. He's got Zerglings at both of those Zelnaga watchtowers. Sometimes overlooked by people. He's got Zerglings camping, possible expansions. He's got them hanging out on high ground here to keep an eye on the gold. Little Reaper just taken a third, a little bit late in the game, but he's been investing a lot in the offense, and so far I think it's paid off. Right now, Veils and Freedom about even. Little Reaper a little ahead of Hurtin' Time as far as supply goes. And both Little Reaper and Freedom banking up some money, too. I think at any time they wanted to, they could create quite a few Zerglings and Zealots. Whoop. Mines did their job there. We have 4 battlecruisers and 4 carriers, so we are getting into the big capital ship wars here. They also seem like they're starting to clean up these bases. Both of them spending a lot of time looking around, but here we go. Battlecruisers on the way. At any point, they can warp back to defend or just to escape. Flying fortresses. Alright, we got the Banelings taking out Hurtin' Time's infantry, but of course Banelings and Lurkers do not shoot up, so the carriers are the big threat here. Oh, Raven goes down before it can cast anything on those carriers, and yeah, good time to just automatically escape. Oh man, these Marines are taking a lot of damage, and that one medevac is completely out of energy. So they are going to have a bit of a task on their hands defending here. Lurker Carrier is one of my favorite combos, by the way. War Bunnies and I used to do a lot of 2v2 in FSL, and just having the Lurkers there to push back anything that from the ground that could try to shoot up. Alright, here we go. Upgrades is G. Yeah, not a lot of upgrades on the air units right now. The carriers actually have an attack upgrade, but other than the Yamato gun, there's no attack or armor upgrades on the battlecruisers yet. In carrier versus battlecruiser, yeah, the Yamatos come in handy big time, but a lot of their regular attacks, even a little bit of armor, can almost negate them. And we have a mothership on the way as well, plenty of corruptors, and you know, definitely a bit of a supply lead from the Little Dom team. Marine Thors, not a bad combination. Not fooled at all by the changelings either. Ooh, wow. This has been, this happens, StarCraft 2 and Brood War. Sometimes you end up with those, lurkers that actually end up just kind of hanging around. Mine's too, actually. Not as bad if they're not hanging around in your mineral line. Why isn't Yamato getting used? I don't know, and, this isn't a live game, so I'm afraid I can't ask them until maybe the next time they're playing, but I think they've been a little bit slow on taking advantage of their spells, honestly. Like the Raven got some what do you call them, auto turrets down, but did not disable or shred the armor on anything. And this mothership, it's building up energy too. I don't know what they were calling attention to there. What do we got now? We have 4 battlecruisers, Thor, just a mothership and 15 carriers. I mean, obviously there's no shortage of Marines here, 55 of them. If they can get under the battlecruisers, they can focus them down, but also, are there any medevacs? I don't think so. Got a nuke being researched, that's something, but yeah, all these Marines don't have a lot to heal them. They have nothing to heal them. Oh, and it manages to separate the two armies. 2 Little Reaper's fleets. It stands to just mow over everything at this point. It's going to be hard to even attack the carriers. The Corruptors joining in. Ooh. I don't think they wanted to use that nuke defensively, but they ended up having to, just to zone the other army away. Shields, unfortunately for them, do regenerate. Good upgrades on the Marines. Still no upgrades on the battlecruisers. I do see a factory upgrade to benefit Thor. Yeah, this is a very abusable point right in the middle of the map too. That's one of the old tricks in map making. Always put your gold bases somewhere where they are very, very vulnerable. Yeah, I think the nuke might have backfired a bit. Not sure exactly. I'd watch the replay, but I already am. This is interesting, though. Hurting time, really hurting for supply. Veils, on the other hand, maxed out, but so is Little Reaper, and Freedom up at 152, so overall, I think with both, as far as tech and army supply goes, Valherd is pretty far behind. It's a good way to clear out interceptors, but they weren't all released anyway. There we go. Air units divided up a little bit. Battle cruisers jumped ahead, but I think it's probably even for the better that the opposing army was already gone. You see we got infestors here. Do we have... I do not think we have neural, so they at least don't need to worry about that, but fungal alone can be great at keeping an air army from retreating, not to mention doing a lot of damage to marines. Alright, battle cruisers move in. I don't think that liberator will last long against carriers. No, it does not. So it looks like we're going to be trying for Baneley fungal combination. I gotta say, another thing is, there really haven't been a lot of medevacs supporting things. I don't know how long they'd last, but every time, every stem, and every bit of damage these marines take is permanent, unless they got the medevacs ready. And they are driving them back. A lot of missile turrets, so... I think I can actually... Yeah, 145 interceptors, with a few more being replaced now. And... ooh boy. Yeah, Little Reaper just getting rid of probes. Freeing up supply to see if he can add a few more to his fleet. I guess that was where the medevacs were. Got orbitals flying out, so... I mean, income... I guess Hurtin' Time could probably use the income the most, but I'd say... almost very few of the players. I don't think there have been many times that they've been hurting for, where they've been hurting for money. And yeah, as Thorin pointed out, yeah, you can share money. Those 4,000 minerals and 4,000 gas can just be handed over to Hurtin' Time. So don't be afraid to use the features that team games have. I know that Little Dom has certainly made some good use of shared control here and there. All right. Not a lot of action going on, but Little Reaper and Frieden are almost maxed out. Well, I mean, Vales is almost maxed out too, but Hurtin' Time is just lagging so far behind. And yeah, another thing that I've seen mentioned in the chat that, yeah, I've definitely noticed too, the battle cruisers haven't been repaired at all. So, it just seems like there's, they're maybe a little out of practice here. Especially with the team games. Whoa! Those, yeah, another thing I've been seeing here, friendly fire. And friendly fire aims. Vales takes a big supply drop, Hurtin' Time down even further. I don't think they've got anything they can do to... Yep, we have the GGWP. Alright. Little Dom showing their stuff. Menu? Alright, exciting game, but I think Little Dom definitely took an advantage early on and kept it. Just kept building on it more and more. Next map is Emerald City. A much easier to defend here. Alright, in the bottom right, the red Terran, his name is... And his teammate, the purple Terran, he is called.
Hurtin' Time.
Together, they are the team, known as Valhurt. And in the upper left, up one map, the blue Protoss. He is.
Little Reaper.
And his partner, the yellow Zerg, he is called.
KJ Freedom.
Together, they are Little Dom. Alright. Pretty standard so far. SCV is out scouting as soon as the barrack starts. And Little Reaper takes his expansion. So they're getting their wall up. As always, you know how much I love probes that try to pick on build-ins and SCVs. Okay. Now this SCV can either, it can run for it, or it can risk letting the probe in by lowering the supply depot. I think that's a good call. Once again, Hurtin' Time building his first command center in base. And we have Vales scouting around. Almost the point where we're going to start seeing some tech here. Vales also playing it safe, building the command center on high ground. Whoop. Probe gets in. I mean, the Marine's going to take care of it, but it will be able to see what it's up against. Meanwhile, are they going to raise the supply depot before the Zerglings get in? I don't think they're going to. They're not going to last long against two Marines, but once again, Little Dom has a lot of information to work with, and you got a guy like KJ Freedom who, you know, knows a thing or two about StarCraft, let's just say that. That's a bit of a disadvantage to be put out so early. Twilight Council down for Little Reaper, no surprise. He loves to really push hard with gateway units. And then we have, KJ taking his third right on schedule. Now, we've got this command center here that's just sitting around, so hopefully Vales will be moving that soon. Hurtin' Time already is making his into an orbital in that mineral patch. Robo on the way. Starport. Stem. And the Reaper that never makes it close to Little Reaper. Actually, he might if he goes around. Gonna let himself heal for a moment. Okay. So Vales is locked in to turn into an orbital before moving it. Yep, there we go. Now to take out a probe. Oh, got 2 kills on him actually. And, yeah, Terran can be annoying. Terran can be annoying against probes too. It's a nice way to go for it. So far, it's mostly just little pokes at each other. And once again, putting down a good number of mines, so I'm pretty spread out too. Alright. Zergling's taken care of pretty quickly. They got a little look at what to expect. I mean, they know that there's infantry and they know that there's mines here. We have a tank on the way. We also have a Banshee. Yeah, it can be hard to tell as far as how well the teams match up, especially at the beginning of the season. So, one of the deals is not everyone spends the entire off-season practicing. And I've definitely seen Valhurt cause some real havoc. I've played against them. So yeah, they probably need to do some practice, but I'm telling you, once they're in shape, look out. They are very troublesome. Still, allowed some Zealots to get into the base. Banshee reveals itself playing defense without getting into an opponent's base. And there's the Warp Prism right over there. Knowing Little Reaper, he's going to keep these coming. Nope. Actually, he sees the infantry and retreats, but they are hitting a little bit everywhere. Vale's doing well, making sure the tech lab doesn't go down before Stimpack is complete. But yeah, they've driven them back already. Containing them a lot like the last game, I gotta say. Banshee's chasing a Warp Prism, because why not? There is not a Viking on the way either, so... Still, siege tanks can get the job done. Warping within range is siege tank. Sometimes a no-no. KJ is adding a Spire. Little Reaper seems to be pretty focused on the Warp Prism right now, and not actually producing anything at the moment. Tricky thing with Protoss, if you're mostly going Gateway. You have to actually go back to where there's a pylon or another Warp Prism to really do anything. Alright, he's going all out. Oh, there's the Dark Templar, and that was a big headache last game. They should be able... Can they do a... Yeah, they can do a scan, and then the Banshees take care of it. KJ, meanwhile, keeping the Zerglings very active. Spire is almost done. About halfway done on Baneland speed. And once again, I mean, there isn't a lot of opportunity for Valhurt to actually really build up their tech and their army. Little Dom actually, they lost their first match this season, but they were competitive. And one of the big things about that game, things did not slow down, ever. There was always something happening on the map. And yeah, I mean, back here, being forced to use the Banshees defensively still. And oh boy, those Banelands could hurt something. Fortunately, the mines do manage to get it, and look, it right back with the Warp Prism. Does start out with some new production buildings. Warp Prism goes down. More Zerglings still on the way, though. And, see, not just the damage the enemies have done to the SCVs, but there's the share of friendly fire, too, for the mines and the siege tanks. Interestingly, though, I mean, you take a look at this. Despite all the damage they did, Valhurt are actually ahead in supply. And this is a potentially dangerous army. KJ testing the defenses, seeing if he can set off some mines for just the trade of one Zergling. But yeah, we got Banshee, Marine, Viking, and a few siege tanks. Nothing to cough at. Oh. Ooh, look at this. Alright, well, we got action going on both sides at once. As KJ is defending, he's also trying to attack to prevent this expansion. But Hurt in Time manages to get it down, so this gives them a foothold. Definitely gives them a foothold, because Little Dom was focusing pretty heavily just on offense. Oh boy. Raven might be nice. I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, those Dark Templar. Alright, he does manage to take them out, but that's just followed up by Banelands. Although, once again, throughout this, Valhurt does maintain the supply lead, and they have a foothold to take their thirds. Now, Little Reaper has got a lot of money right now. He's got 4 bases. So does his father. Now, I do not think they're going to give them a lot more openings to move out like that much. Meanwhile, yeah, we got a gold base down. Even if they, even if they're a little bit behind in supply, the big thing is, yeah, Freedom and Little Reaper, they've got a lot more production and a lot more money. And here come the mutas. I don't know. I don't know how well these will do if they if there's any mines around here, but actually there aren't. KJ being nice and cautious here too, just kind of picking on the sides here. Ooh, yeah, those Marines just kind of parading in, not always good against Mutalisks. Mutalisks think better of it. They head out. Now we've got Sonic Storm researching, we got an Infestation Pit down, some good upgrades going on for Hurtin' Time right now. But their opponents are starting to catch up in the supply now. Yeah, I guess they skipped one base over here, but yeah, Little Dom basically has half the map. Valhurt knows about the gold base now. Thing is, you know, the gold base, if you don't want them to benefit from it, you gotta do something about it quick. And those scans, those were mules they didn't make. Got 8 High Templar on the opposing side, not to mention some Banelands, so they have to be very, very careful with this infantry. And Lurkers on the way too. Here's a pretty big problem. I mean, Valhurt is mostly relying on Marines right now. And there is a lot of splash damage on the way for Little Dom. Interestingly enough, Valhurt does have a pretty good upgrade lead too. It might come into play, it might not. Alright, cancels an expansion. I have to see what these can do. They gotta get the Banelands in. The Zerglings aren't gonna last long. Ooh boy, here comes the cavalry. Here are those High Templar. More than a few of them. They have to be ready. Yep. Oh boy. Death and destruction, but still maintaining, you know, only falling a little bit behind in the supply count, really. Yep, Storm and Lurkers. Scary combination. And, I mean, you gotta... Look. Little Dom has half the map now. Valhurt is, they're taking their 4th bases. Not bad, but they're gonna need something to deal with the Lurkers, deal with the High Templar. I don't know what they like to do with ghosts. I know last game they did launch 1 nuke. But steady shot and EMP. Be very handy. Yeah, that. Yeah, I agree. The Thorn is pointing out that's a lot of High Templar, and they only, you know, Sonic Storm doesn't stack on top of one another, so some of those could actually do better as Archons. Oh, and yeah, 5 of them. There are 5 Archons now, but 21 High Templar. Wow. I think we got a Storming out ahead of us. Okay, Liberator, are they going to make the scan? Not just yet. And we're at the point now where there's a lot of different places that can be hit. Defenses on both teams are going to be stretched pretty thin by this point. You can't defend everywhere at once efficiently against these camp farmers. Yep, here come those Archons and High Templar. Let's see what they actually can do with them. Mutalisks mostly just kind of playing hit and run. Alright, I would not try to take them on the high ground here, especially with the siege tanks if they do siege. Well, they did not siege in time, so they are able to join them up there. More storms just keep driving the Valhurt troops back further and further. They're trying to set up the siege lines, but each time it's a little bit late on that. Yeah, I don't know how many High Templar are optimal, but definitely it's usually a pretty good policy to start dumping extra gas in them when you're spending the minerals on the Zealots and the other stuff. But yeah, usually a little combination. And we have some really good kiting going on with both players' infantry. Still trying to run away from Banelings on creep. That can be rough. And just an update, I still have not heard from Criminals, so I'm not sure, but this might actually end up being the last map of the night. We might have to set up a replay. They do have the ghosts there. Oh, where are those? I'm trying to figure out where the... Oh, there they are. Okay. High ground lurkers attacking the tanks. I gotta say, Valhurt has pretty good composition. They got the ghosts and the liberators now. And quite a few tanks, but they're also not doing a lot to defend those tanks. Sonic Storm is not what you usually depend on against tanks, but if they're stuck there, and there isn't anything between you and them, it can work out pretty well. Alright. Just heard a ghost go down. We are having quite the parade moving to this spot here. The gold base is long down, and we have a whole lot of Zealots, just... Zealots, Zerglings, Marines, a lot of tier 1 units just kind of racing to the middle and then splashing against each other. And they're the Broodlords. I don't think they're going to be able to do much. Although, okay, there we go. This is almost like Minions in a MOBA, you know? Just a constant stream of basic units getting thrown in the middle. And we have... I'm not sure what Little Reaper's doing. If that was a misrally, or whether he... I don't think he'd want to get rid of those probes, since he's only at 101 supply. At this... So, I'm assuming that was a mistake. But yes, Little Reaper still has plenty of bank here. Meanwhile, Valhurt... They're doing their expanding, and they're ready to hit the southwest corner. But yes, we have a lot of Zerg and Protoss splash, but then we've got the mines, the tanks on the Terran side too. And, I don't know, this Ghost just seems to be keeping from getting bored. Ghost versus Extractor. Tonight's prize fight. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Ghosts do have a hold fire button in case you want to be really sneaky with them, although I think that's more from when they're cloaked. Interestingly, lurkers do as well. I only realized that fairly recently. But holding position as lurker, popular tactic in Brood War. Curtain time completely maxed out now, so yeah, Valhurt has the supply league and leading a lot of DPS. Getting some planetary fortresses, some nice strategic positions, and yeah, I'd like to see the Ghosts use their special abilities a little bit more, but they're still clearing out the lurkers anyway, but yeah, Curtain Time's position is in danger of getting overrun here. I mean, he's gonna lead them back through some tanks and mines, so that's gonna be pretty nice, but high ground's only gonna do so much here. Whew. Okay, I think that was the High Templar that went down. High Templar have an attack, just not much of one. Alright, this could be a real clash. Yeah, he is recalling. I think that's the good call to make. I also wouldn't mind if either Veils or Hurtin' Time went ahead and took that gold and put a planetary and some missile turrets there. So they're kind of sharing the minerals over here. But they could potentially branch out a lot more. So yeah, we are in the late game. What do we got for upgrades? 3-2 for the Zerglings, 2-2 for one set of Marine, 3-2 for the other, 3-1 for the mech. Interestingly enough, Little Reaper hasn't gotten any weapons, armor, or shield upgrades. I think that's a bit an oversight there, and that might explain why he's been struggling a bit in a lot of these clashes. Alright, now we got a planetary coming up there. Okay, Little Reaper going on the offensive. As, oh boy. Alright, they're gonna try to repair that. At least I think they will. High Templar really lagging behind. That's one of the things you gotta watch out for. High Templar move a lot more slowly than your Zealots and Stalkers, but a nice central position to defend here. Ooh boy, oh boy, that is not something you want to have happen to your High Templar. That's a lot of gas down the drain. Valhurt does have at least one Raven. So, we got that, but yeah, some more wouldn't hurt, especially with the spellcasting potential. And yeah, I don't know why they haven't taken the gold, since they've basically secured the area. There's mines every step of the way there. Oh man, look at this though. Little Reaper and Freedom, both kind of around, what, 113, 121, against a maxed out Hurt in time, and a Veils who's still ahead of both the opponents, so they're slipping. They're slipping further behind. Corruptors drive off the Liberators. Once again, you know, that trademark aggression by Little Dom. Every second of the way, they're sending Zerglings results somewhere. Ooh, we have a Doom drop here. Unfortunately, goo all over them. They got fungled. So, yeah, that didn't go as well, although Hurt in time still at 183 supply. And the battle goes on. We are 23 minutes into this match, with corpses getting thrown down every step of the way. Ooh. Yeah, there were some EMPs for you. Although I think... Oh no, he did not... I think he might have gotten his medevacs a little bit, but not the Raven. Slowly but surely, yeah, Valhurt just keeps pushing further and further. You know, sometimes after a while, what you really need is just a little bit of time to warm up. A High Templar in the Warp Prism. Oh, yeah, there we go. So we have ourselves a Game 3. Wow. That was quite the battle of attrition. Valhurt pretty far behind for a chunk of that game, but they took a significant lead. They had to fight for it every step of the way, too. Alright, one more match between them. By the way, we always have people send us in 3 replays, just so we don't know whether or not it went to Game 3. That's how things work behind the scenes here. Long match, too. Yikes. In the lower right, we have the Red Terran. He and his partner just tied this game up, and he is... his teammate. Behind him every step of the way, he is the light blue Terran, and he is...
Hurting time.
Together they form Valhurt. Meanwhile, other side of the map, once again, the yellow Zerg, he is...
KJ Freedom.
And his teammate, the blue Protoss. He is
Little Reaper.
and their team is Little Dom. So we have a gateway over here, just so no Reapers or other units can hop up here and hide behind those site blockers. Probe manages to get right into the base to look around. Once again, KJ Freedom going with a pretty standard opening. Only one probe on gas for Little Reaper. Seems a little unusual considering, you know, he likes to go with the tech units, at least get the Twilight Council out fairly quickly. It was really was a big thing that you have to take note of yesterday. He was not doing Forge upgrades at all. And I believe it was the same case the game before, but that one at least he did one Cyber Core upgrade to the carriers. Just more scouting, more filling out. What are we at? Kind of similar, but similar to before, with Vales expanding quite a bit before Hurt in Time. Hurt in Time still locked in to go with the high ground expansion. Playing it safe. I don't know if Little Dom really rushes, straight up rushes much, but usually when they do their first attack, it's a big one. I think that's the case with both of them when they're playing one-on-one, too. Alright, so escape route cut off for that poor Reaper, but fortunately there is another way down. So he's just going to sit down, let himself recharge. Once again, KJ making sure to take the Zelnaga watchtowers. Reaper was just lying in wait for that probe. I don't think he's going to get him, though. He's going to have to back off a little. Does take down a Zerglin, though. And a second one. Oh, he has two Reapers now. How about that? Is that fair? Probably in no danger of taking out the Nexus, but they're continuing to be annoying. Well, they can also try to just camp and take out probes, but I think they're going to be leaving again. What do we have here? We have Charge and Robotics Facility for Little Reaper. Oh, wow. He is really going all out with these Reapers. They're not proxied either. But yeah, this is going to pay off. Look at that. Can just keep picking away at the smaller units right now. And also, look at all those Zerglings that end up having to head right back home. And what do we have? Got tank, an engineering bay over on the Terran side. Hellion. Oh boy. Yep. Well, they were distracted with the Reapers. Gets a nice marine drop complete with a Widow Mine there. Is that structures T? Yeah, he's got an armory, so that's why they are not attacking it. Medevac gets away with a few of the Marines. So let's keep an eye here, though, because I do not think Little Dom knows that this is still here. And away we go. This mine now has 7 kills on it. Very annoying. And with your attention being split, for instance, trying to defend against those Reapers, I don't know. I think it's still still completely undetected. Oop, you know what? Oh, there we go. Observer moves in. Alright. Marine Reaper and Hellion push. It can be interesting, but a lot of StarCraft comes down to the early game. Not just to how much damage you did, but how much you managed to throw them off. No surprise here, a little Reaper warping in some Zealots. And here comes Zerglings. Are they looking for an expansion? Okay, just hunting around. This little Reaper is not likely to lay off on this. Here comes Zerglings 2. Stop production on the command center. That might just have to be that will have to be canceled. Yep, he did cancel it in time. Hellion's very good against Zerglings, but they have to reach him first. Zerglings retreating, but of course Little Reaper still staying very present with that Warp Prism. 3 Zealots in it right now. Ooh. Siege tanks, mass defense. And Freedom with a macro hatchery. So what are we at right now? Little Reaper is really low on supply. I mean, he keeps warping guys in, but those warp-ins are all sacrifices. Got a nice Roach Ravager army here. But Little Reaper has not been able to do a lot of production at home during these. Ugh. I mean, the Zealots are paying off, but that's also money he's not able to spend on anything else. Dark Shrine, of course, is on the way. And we are ready for Valhurt. Try to push back a little bit. Ooh. Zerglings aren't going to do much other than absorb fire for the real damage dealers here. This is a lot of DPS. Plus we got the... We do have the Raven here. Oh, and loads of reinforcements. This could spell big trouble. Only a few Protoss units here, so this is mostly on KJ Freedom to defend. Aliens do not have speed, and Veils is quick enough to just move all the small units back, move the Marines back, so those get used up against the tanks and other stuff. Alright, let's see what they can do here. Freedom is still holding on so far, but yeah, these are going to start hitting the production. And a lot of this is nice, efficient, mineral-only damage. Hellbats and Marines. Hellbats, by the way, can be healed by, yeah, you just saw, healed by the medevac, as long as they're not in Hellion form. Yeah. There go the Dark Templar. There is the Raven, but they have to be very careful with it. Oh, Banshee on the way too. I find that Hurt in Time really does like just throwing a couple of them in, even if it ends up just being there to clean up back at home. Yeah, I think Little Reaper, one of the things that's getting his way is you can only warp in where you're looking, so he's spending so much time looking at those warp prisms that he's not warping in home. And yeah, he doesn't seem to be building a lot off of his robotics facility. Alright, here we go. Okay, this is... They're being forced to hold them off with workers. The boys are pulled, although they've trapped everything in there, so these Marines and even some landed Vikings are working to finish off Freedom's army. Still got... Yeah, honestly, these Banshees do seem to pay off. Oh, here, sorry. How are we doing? So, yeah, Vales is really low on workers right now. 24 SCVs, couple of mules. That's gonna get in his way quite a bit. And of course, the Zealots just keep on coming. And the Banshees, I mean, obviously the Zealots can't fire back, but Banshees also fire rather slowly too. So, yeah, Little Reaper and Vales, pretty beaten down. Hurt in Time and Freedom are the ones who have the armies and the economy going. At the same time, Freedom has a lead on Hurt in Time. And they're getting up new expansions here too, whereas, yeah, look at that. Look at that Overlord. And I have to get, yeah, I don't think these guys are going to last long, but still, that's annoying. Archon created and picked right up. Oh, yeah, never underestimate Little Reaper. He has, he definitely has a winning record against me. Make no mistake. But yeah, it's the challenge of StarCraft. There's a lot of things to focus on. But yeah. And believe it or not, Little Reaper was even younger when he started with FSL. Just pure aggression, and he never lets up. Oh, that Archon. No. How many kills did he get? Oh, I didn't get to see, but... it's one thing to do. Where are we at? Yeah, Little Reaper's still in really bad shape. Vale's not much better. Sometime... Oh! What do we have here? The Banshees. Okay. I do not believe they have Cloak. No, they do not. Honestly, both members of Valhurt could do with some upgrades themselves, although we do have 2-2 Mac on the part of Hurt in Time. I think upgrades are one of the hardest things to really keep on your mind, because they're not as visible. I mean, you even have to click on your opponent to see what their upgrades are, and that's if you have it set to allow that. So, let us see, are they... I think they're mostly defending right now. On both sides, really. I mean, aside from Little Reaper. But, yeah, if I were Little Reaper, I'd try to spend a little bit of time building up an army. So, I mean, he warps in a lot of stuff, but those are stuff that are sacrificed pretty quickly. Just a nice standing army for when it actually goes head-to-head, not just harassment. Alright, let's see. Ooh, Vale's a little bit sloppy letting Medivacs get that far ahead of the rest of the army. It's all about the control groups. Alright, here we go. Lurkers defending. We have at least one Infestor. Another one, 3. Yeah, so there's some damage the Fungals can do, no doubt. And, yeah, Vale's Hurt in Time Vale's caught up a bit. So this is a pretty powerful army. Big, high damage, bunch of expendable Hellions in the front. So we're going to see what they do here. Raven, I think, coming forward and chucking, and here we go. Not, we have Zerglings attacking with a Nidus Worm just about to enforce. So we might get into one big base trade situation here. Zealots are picking on Vales, the Zerglings picking on Hurt in Time. Hurt in Time, while he's trying to clean that up, not able to move his Steed Shanks ahead. Alright, Vales cleans up. Still a lot going on in Hurt in Time's base, although Nidus Worm is down now. Alright, Ooh, wow. Okay, I am really struggling to keep track of where all of this is happening. Front lines, back lines, mineral lines. We have lines everywhere here, and we also have another Nidus worm about to come up. Alright. Vale's army gets cleaned up back there. The thing is, okay. This time we got some lurkers backing up the Zerglings, but not many. Lurkers, yeah, they're slow to fire. Their attacks can actually be dodged. This is very interesting. It's like a lot of attention being drawn back to the main of Valhurt, but Vale seems to be able to keep that under control. Well, Hurtin Time just inches his mech army forward. And the destruction continues. So I don't know, he might want to actually just leave some tanks sieged around the base, if this is going to be the strategy. Oh. I wonder... Well, I mean, I guess that there's some strategic value there. But I do wonder how much of that is really just to try to make everyone panic and head back home again. What's gonna pop out? Lurkers. It's gonna be lurkers. But here's the problem. Back home, Little Dom, they don't have anything to deal with this army. The Spire is almost up, but yeah, this is a bunch of siege tanks and banshees, and even when they do have flying units, they got the Thors covering them. I still would like to see a little bit of repairing going on high value units. Little Reaper taking the sneaky little corner base, and we have the Hydras and Infestors circling around. But Vales is opting to reinforce Hurtin Time's army. And yeah, Little Dom is kind of just circling the area. Yes, War Bunnies, shame on you. Out there earning a lot more money than I see in who knows how many months, when you should be casting a good game of StarCraft. Someone needs to play off me. I need... ooh, wow. The seldom seen double High Templar versus Planetary Fortress fight. Reaper making sure that the Dark Templar can't sneak around too much. But yeah, Vales and Freedom about even. Hurtin Time way up. Yikes. There's something really fun about when that scan goes off and then you see the impact. It's dramatic. Once again, I mean, they're a bit contained. Of course, you know, they're taking the corner bases, but there's not a lot of workers there. They need to be able to do something about these siege tanks, and I don't know, Freedom has a decent amount of money in his bank. So here we go. Oh, I see. The Nidus worms were to get those bases set up. Very creative. Oh man. Yeah, those drones might need to hop right back into the worm. SC2 is your job. SC2 is life. You just lost a fan, War Bunnies. Alright. Another Nidus worm to reinforce, but this is, they're bleeding. They're bleeding out more and more, even though their opponents haven't actually made it into their main base. Ooh. March the Changelings. Yep, just passing through, not doing anything suspicious, just going for a nice walk on a very pleasant night. Not, you know, you're not gonna see any Nidus worms popping up around me, no siree. Especially, I guess, because they just used one. You know, I usually don't see this many changelings created this far from where they're getting relayed to. Yep. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Got to inspect your supply depot. These changelings, they're like war bunnies. They got called in. They got called in and they're doing their work. But oh, a little Reaper down to 20 supply. KJ Freedom doing what he can, trying to get another corner base set up. He's got the workers to start mining as soon as possible. Oh, here. Love these guys, though. Hello, fellow Terran. Oh. Hydras are hitting. I don't know, I just have to see them expire. I mean, it's not as fun as the old actual infested Terrans, where they'd actually shoot themselves in the head, but they look like they lead a painful life. I just gotta say that. And yeah, KJ Freedom still getting work done with the Lurker Hydra. And hello, neighbor. Hello. Well, there goes the neighborhood. Has Val heard of F2A move? I don't know, but even doing that, you gotta unseat your tanks to actually get them to move. I don't know. Hurting time, setting up command centers all over the map now. Not a bad policy, even if they're not mining. You got the orbitals, you got the mules, you got the scans, cleaning up going on. They have not checked the corner again. I think one of them just suggested to the other to do so. Long distance mining going on here. Okay. I could probably move that one. Anyway. Yep, medevac, taking a look around, dying for its troubles, but... one of the fun lines the medevac does, if you just keep clicking on it, is, why are all of you wearing red shirts? I think that's applicable. Maybe I should also take this time. Did you hear that there was a reputable insider last week who confirmed that StarCraft 3 is in development, but he was drunk, and then the next morning he corrected himself and said that, nah, really just meant that StarCraft isn't dead, okay? We have the GG, okay. Alright, Val Hurt with the comeback. That was something. They were struggling, but I mean, you could definitely see the difference in the third game when they actually got back into the rhythm of things. So sometimes that's how it goes. I definitely can feel it for that here. No one to interview since that was replay. Criminal did not log in. Alright. Did not. Good job. You can make replays. So yeah, we had one player who did not show up. So we're actually going to have to call it a night, but I did want to finish my little story. So yeah, someone goes on Twitter, a Microsoft journalist types in the tweet, drunk AMA. Someone asks him, StarCraft 3? He replies, yep. You've seen it? Replies, yep. That was it. That was that was enough to get the StarCraft newsreel rolling. But yes, he did follow up. The next day, he deleted the previous tweets. He said that, you know, you probably shouldn't believe drunk people as sources, and you know, I'm going to walk that back a little bit. Let's just say that StarCraft still has a future. So, and I'll agree with them there. I mean, you know, we've heard Blizzard president Mike Ibarra say some positive things about it. We've heard Xbox president Phil Spencer say some positive things. The acquisition has certainly moved much further ahead. They just got to figure out what to do with the CMA over in the United Kingdom. So, for now, though, there's a lot of content, and we've got a lot we can enjoy. So, it's not bad news to have stuff like that shut down. It's just reality. Yes, I know. I've seen that stuff. I saw Mike Ibarra tweet a picture of a StarCraft T-shirt last year, as well as giving a winky face to Simulu. So yeah, Blizzard is aware of it, despite evidence to the contrary. But if there was something that was going to be announced soon, or something that was already in development, I think they'd actually have some new StarCraft merchandise items in the Blizzard Gear store. If you check there, the only things you see that are new being added to the StarCraft category are generic stuff with a Blizzard logo. So, look, I'm not saying that StarCraft doesn't have a future. Absolutely. I am saying, don't hold your breath right now. You know? On top of everything else, development takes time, especially if something isn't even far enough along to announce. You know, there might be pitches being made, there are ideas being thrown around. I seriously doubt there is a real-time strategy game in development at Blizzard because all the RTS development people left. I mean, even with Warcraft 3 Reforged, they sent it over to an Australian developer called Playside Studios and had them finally fix it up. So, for now, let's enjoy what we have. And we have many things, including FSL, which will be back next week. And let me just check what we've got scheduled for next week. Code B, we have Nachos versus Kitty Cat Gamer. In Code A, we have Cyan versus Depu. In Code S, we have Lucky Larry versus Gray. And Code S Plus, we have Harush versus KJ Freedom. No team games next week, but there's some fun stuff on the way. And I'm also doing a little bit more work. More than one, likely one or more RTS in development somewhere at Microsoft. Yeah, World's Edge and Relic Entertainment. There's actually some notable StarCraft developers who work there on Age of Empires right now. Grant Davies being one of the most notable ones. He's the guy who was, he was the lead guy with StarCraft Remastered, so I'm sure he would love to actually finish up on some of the stuff he didn't get to finish, as far as the features for the game go. Potentially. I mean, I've seen stuff like that happen, like Rare. I remember 20 years ago, Rare was developing some sort of Dinosaur Planet game that later got the Star Fox property slapped on it. Yeah, there's ideas, and I'm sure there's some people at both companies who have pitches that they're getting ready to make, but until they know when the merger will complete, they're not going to move into development stage, in my opinion. And, they're taking a couple months to talk to the CMA, try to figure out how they can alleviate concerns about cloud gaming, apparently. So, the news will continue. Some will be rumors, some will be really exciting. I don't expect to see any StarCraft whatsoever at BlizzCon, except maybe on some of the computers. Maybe they'll put up Joey Ray's bar. I'll actually be pleasantly surprised if they include a StarCraft digital reward with the virtual ticket. That's not pessimism, that's just kind of setting myself up. But hey, I didn't expect patch 5.0 to pop up out of nowhere either, so my word is not the end-all be-all. I'm just a guy who talks about StarCraft and enjoys doing so. Anyway, I will see everyone next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with me as I continue to gradually improve at doing this kind of work. Later. Actually, here, let's go out with this. Open it. up the wrong video.
Sarah, what have you done?
Kerrigan, the die is cast. This is the last day. Your swarm darkens the sky of any planet.
Forget Minsk. Forget all of it.
When we are done here, I will return to my people and accept their judgment.
Command, we've found Kerrigan. She's holed up in a Zerg base.
I made my peace long